What is up, everybody? It is good to get back in the studio today. Today we're going to take a look at the FABFILTER Pro-C2 and take a look at my most common use case, or the main reason why I wanted to get this product. We're just going to see how well it works on the brand new Apple M1 Mac Mini. It's not so brand new. It's been out for about a year and a half, almost maybe a couple of years. So this is just another short video of pushing the machine to the upper limits of its performance and seeing if it can handle what we're throwing at it. So let's jump in. So I'm just going to hit play. And this is the cover that I'm working on for Soundgarden, Blow Up the Outside World. Here comes the vocal. And I mean, sounding great. And so what we're going to take a look at is how I'm using Pro-C2. And I'm using that on my parallel drum channel. So I'm just going to open up the mixer window here. We'll go ahead and solo the drums. And I'm just going to mute the drum track. So I'll just talk a little bit about all I got going on here. So I got all my drums here, all of my individual drum tracks. I got the kicks bussed together and the snare bussed together so that I can treat them as one. And then all of that is bussed together into the drum aux. And then I have drums parallel compression channel that is set up on a send. So it's set up on its own output so that I can control the level of all of the drum instruments going into the parallel channel, right? So it's not just taking a direct mix of the drums. I can create my own drum mix that I want for the parallel compression channel here, and I can say, okay, I want this much of the kick and snare. I only want that much of the room channels and stuff like that, because I'm going to do a lot of compression. I'm going to do a lot of treatment. So let's take a look at that. Okay, so I'm just going to mute the drum channel. Okay, so you're just hearing the parallel compression channel. And I'm going to remember this is at a volume of 9.1. I'll go ahead and turn it up so you can... Right? You can hear what I've got going on here. It's kind of nasty. Right? So I've got an 1176 Bluey compressor. That is going into the Pro-C2. And then that's going into the SSL. All of it's doing a little bit of compression. If you see the total compression or gain reduction on the channel, it's you know, it's like 30 dBs of gain reduction, right? It's not, in and of itself, it's not even a particularly great sound, right? But if we just A/B it, so here's the drum mix with everything again, and if I just turn this parallel channel off, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but I always like it more with it. You know, I always wind up liking it more, way more with it. So anyway, all of that stuff aside, we can do a mixing video on how I like to do parallel compression channels later. This is all about talking about how I use the Pro-C2. So what I wanted to do with the Pro-C2, in this case, if you can see what it's doing, it is grabbing, I mean, in a big way, those peaks that are coming through. So that's the kick drum poking through mainly, and the snare drum poking through. So let me show you how this sounds when I turn this off. I mean, it sounds cool. This is not what I was going for the parallel compression channel. I want a lot of sort of distortion. I want it to be highly compressed. And so with the 1176, you know, I've got it set to its fastest setting, you know, here. And we're doing over 10, sometimes maybe 15 dB gain reduction just by itself. And so this is giving a lot of tremendous vibe here as well with this compressor. That's giving a lot of spank. And I really like that also. But listen to what happens when I turn this Pro-C2 on now. And this is at its most clean style. So we can flip through the styles here. See what this does. Vocal style. It's giving a lot more compression. That's mastering. Here's bus. I'll probably leave it on clean. I'll wind up probably doing that because I've liked the way as soon as I put it up on this setting, I've liked the way that this has sounded. And what this is doing is grabbing the transients and just pushing those way down, right? And so then it is, you know, by doing that, you know, then we're really pushing up this sustain character. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to push up the sustain of the snare drum. I wanted to give the kick just that much more punch and body, you know, pumping through the mix. You know what I mean? I wanted the kick to really punch through in a big way. So that's exactly what this is doing. I do have the oversampling turned on, but even with that, you know, the actual delay, if you look at the delay compensation on this channel, the actual delay is not a lot at all. So in other words, this plugin runs very, very efficiently, which is amazing, and it sounds incredible. And what I also really love is that you can see what it's doing. You can see, okay, here's kind of what the audio looks like coming in, and you can see what it looks like going out. It's really pushing down those peaks, and it's really boosting up the sustain character, which is what I want on this channel, right? So let's listen to the ending of that again with the whole drum mix. So I'll turn the parallel channel off now. And, right? Sounds great. Now I'll turn it back on. You just get a lot more sustain, a lot more punch from the kick. Let's back it up a little bit and get some snare. So listen to the snare when I turn this off. Nothing wrong with it, but I just want a little more sustain, right? There it is. And it's just all coming through. It allows me to hear with this, and I just keep this on at all times. Anytime I turn it off, I'm like, where'd my drums go? You know, and that's the way I kind of run that stuff. And it allows me to hear any minute sort of changes. I spent probably a whole day on this snare bus. It allows me to make minute changes to these instruments, to these individual drum instruments, and really hear what I'm doing in a big way, because it affects the entire drum sound, and this is part of that drum sound, right? Because these are all then bussed into 21, 22, and so that's just my drums receptacle down here at the end, right? So that's it. That is how I use the Pro C2 inside of my mix, and it's nothing wrong with it. It's working really well, works really efficiently, and what can I say? It's been just an absolute blast going through the recording process and getting into the mixing process for this song. It's just been a real joy. So can't wait to get into it even more and use tools like the Pro C2 and all sorts of other tools to make the job happen. Until next time.
outside.